You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Sunday the 21st of September 2025. It is 93 days after the summer solstice. It is one day before the fall equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the day of La Fête des Récompenses, the celebration of rewards. It is the fifth and last day of the Saint-Culottide. The French Republican New Year arrives tomorrow. The sun rises today at 6:43 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:49 p.m. The sun sets today at 6:54 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 7:21 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 7:53 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 40 seconds shorter than yesterday. The new moon arrives today at 3:54 p.m. We begin lunation 1271. The first quarter will arrive on Monday, the 29th of September. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 4:26 a.m., 15 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 11:08 a.m., 1 meter 65. In the afternoon, low tide, 4:47 p.m., 21 centimeters. At night, high tide, 11:09 p.m., 1 meter 55. In our shared realm of plants and animals, 30 years ago, there were still old people who remembered the goat farms of Astoria. The 1920s saw the neighborhood fill with new buildings, erasing the open spaces between Broadway and Queensboro Plaza that were once filled with these small farms. There were still enough goats in New York City in the 1930s that German-owned Bock breweries held annual goat beauty contests to choose a mascot for their beers. Only male goats participated, being prized for their fine horns. Contestants came from Upper Manhattan, the Bronx, and the outer reaches of Brooklyn. Queens goats did not participate. Perhaps the goats of Astoria were long gone by that time. Commemorations. On this day in 1897, the New York Sun newspaper ran its famous editorial, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus." 8-year-old Virginia O'Hanlon had written to the paper asking if Santa Claus was real. In her letter she said she had been told by her father, "If you see it in the sun, it's so." The unsigned editorial was written by Francis Church. The paper ran the editorial each year until it closed its doors in 1950. On this day in 1937, The Hobbit was published by George Allen and Unwin in London. It was the world's introduction to the world of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. Today we remember the Long Island hurricane of 1938. Although it is fading from living memory as those who experienced it passed away, it was a pivotal event in the 20th century history of our island. The storm arced up the east coast at an astounding speed of 47 miles per hour, which is why it was dubbed the Long Island Express. At 2:30 p.m. on September 20th, it made landfall at Bellport. The eye of the storm was about 50 miles wide, with a 120 mile per hour maximum sustained wind. A tidal surge of 15 feet swept across the east end. Thousands of homes and cottages were destroyed. 20,000 miles of power and telephone lines were downed. Church steeples were toppled all across the island, and 10 new inlets were formed in the barrier islands stretching from Fire Island to East Hampton. After passing over the island, it hit New England to equally devastating effect. Remember the 1938 hurricane today. It is Arbor Day in Brazil. Sadly, today is the International Day of Peace, a day created by the United Nations. The United Nations Peace Bell will be rung at UN headquarters in Manhattan. The bell was a gift from the United Nations Association of Japan as a reminder of the human costs of war. With wars raging in so many parts of the globe, peace seems to be a distant prospect today. And that is the Observatory, Sunday the 21st of September, 2025.